Oh, there you go. All things real estate. Let's roll. Oh, no, unlocking Silicon Valley.
Freaking banner, locking Silicon Valley, all things real estate. Your billboard boys. We're back.
There you go. Kicking ass in real estate. How about that?
Wow.
So how you guys been doing? It's been a while since I've seen you guys. I mean, since I've been here, I've seen you guys online and all the traction and the great advice you're giving and or stuff. Sorry, we can't say that now.
How so, Mark?
Mark is rusty.
Let's go. Let's go. I miss you guys. I miss being here.
We miss you,
our
Mark.
viewers, our subscribers. Miss Jeet, Ben, Aaron. So what's been going on?
We're missing Dave and Jason today.
Yeah.
What if we had a podcast with all 6 of us?
I don't know if we've done that yet.
We have at Double D's.
Oh, we did do it. I would love
Speaking
to
of
go back. I don't know why we can't go back double D's, man. Hey, you guys shoot down my ideas all.
All right,
I have
all
great,
right.
fun, freaking ideas.
Get to the point.
Great.
God, add some alcohol into this mix, dude. It even gets better,
We were saying that earlier.
right?
Yeah.
We didn't
go.
have Jason actually on the live pod.
I know. We need to do it. I don't know who shut it down.
The crowd was outstanding.
Freaking awesome, man. The engagement.
Golf
Hell yeah,
claps
man.
everywhere.
Hell yeah, man.
Hey, the market
Slow
is
claps. On fire.
going down.
Okay. fair
Right
enough.
now, incredible time to buy.
I would
Great opportunity.
Jeet was just So a couple of things here.
Not sure why he wants to buy
My son Jeffrey is getting a downtown Los Gatos 2-bedroom, 2.5 bath townhome. Close your ears, Jeet, for $800,000.
Oh, mine doesn't look like a deal anymore.
No, but it's over off of Alberto, right?
You own
What kind of seller is selling that at
He
all?
owns half of it.
No, but hold on though. In this development, the exact same units are listed for $840,000, $860,000, and they've been on the market for 130 days. So to your point, the market is going down. Best time, which we're going to talk about, best time ever for buyers to be out there ever in the last 12 years to be buying real estate. Gee, you just brought that one. I won't say where it's at right now because we want you to get
I'm
it.
going to buy it.
No, would you leave your brother alone? Stop being mean.
My clients are looking at it today at 2:30.
Oh, stop. They're getting your offer in that. We didn't even say the name of it.
He wants to grab the contractor when he knows exactly how much it's going to cost.
Listen, you already beat him out on the last
I'm
one.
going to beat him again.
alone.
I'm going to
No, that's
wholesale it
not
to
nice.
him.
God.
No, you bring up a good point. Getting the condo for $800K. We were talking about last week, taking advantage of sellers who don't know what they're doing.
Oh, stop. Wait, I'm the seller.
That's
What are
right.
you saying? I'm
He
the
owns
seller.
the condo. He's like, I don't know how my son's getting such a good deal. Seller name, Mark Fun.
No, hold on. But back to your point. And so, okay, I'm going to just jump to this because one of the things that I brought to the table, my wonderful top 10 list that I know you guys have been missed, is
We did actually. We talked about it.
there you go.
last podcast.
The top 10 areas in the state of California with the top median price. And the reason why I bring this up, so number one, without looking at the list, you've already
Atherton.
seen. It's not on the list though. Major metro areas.
For what?
Probably.
What is it?
For the top median single family home.
Oh, okay.
Metro areas. So I don't
Well, it's
think.
usually Atherton Hamptons.
Well,
But okay. So,
okay, in California,
so we'll say what
Hamptons aren't in California. Okay, number one is San Jose. But here's my point. San Jose is number one at 1.7 million. The reason why I bring that up, wasn't it $2 million a year ago? The
Yeah,
median
I
home
think this
in
January.
It was
was
2
too
million
much.
dollars
January.
like 2 months ago.
So it's dropped to 1.7.
That's 30%. Wait.
No, do your math.
Oh, 15.
15%.
15%. Second is San Francisco, which is at 1.5. I found very interesting with that. Only up until recently, San Francisco had a higher median price than San Jose. It did. I mean, I'm not saying in the last year or so, 'cause things have changed in San Francisco and stuff, and hopefully they'll continue to get better. Anaheim, California is at 1.2. Mickey, you get to see Mickey and Minnie, right? Because Disneyland's taken over. Oakland is number 4 at 950,000. San Diego's number 5 at 920, and then LA at 905. But my point that I'm making is to what you were saying, the market is correcting,
Thank
It is
you.
correct.
right?
Thank you for sharing that with your list. That
I
doesn't
got
make
more.
sense.
I got more. You want to see the opposite of it? And this might
Well,
be
you're
good.
gonna blow all your top 10s before you even get started.
Because I got
Hold
you guys to
on.
compete
You're
with.
gonna-
I haven't been on for so long. I'm so excited.
If I let someone else talk, I'm gonna forget my top 10 list.
All right, give us
Well,
more.
here's the opposite. The opposite is the lowest median price. Now this is in the entire state. City with the lowest median price.
In California.
No. All over.
he said entire state.
I'm gonna back up. Actually, I made a mistake. That was the top median for the entire country. It just happened that 6 of the top 10 are in California. Now, what is the lowest median price in the country? I'll give you number
Somewhere in
one.
Alabama.
No, number one is Detroit.
yeah.
$195,000. So if you're an investor looking to buy, because you guys were looking at
Cincinnati.
so Detroit's at 195, but in my opinion, those, I think it could be opportunities. Although I do know in Detroit, in some cases, they'll pay you to take the property because it's been vacant for so long and they have to pay taxes and so on. Anyways, Cleveland is 235.
That right there is a great investment if people are looking
I think
to get
so.
into
With
something.
Ohio, I mean,
Because property taxes are 0.4% in Ohio.
Cleveland,
Is that
Ohio
what
has
Yeah.
That's
one of
great.
the largest nursing programs
there you
in
go.
the entire world.
Hey, my
actually.
friend is a nurse there. He moved from here to there.
Well, there we go.
Yeah.
Let's buy some houses and rent them out. I mean, I got to believe
This is incredible.
It is, right? Pittsburgh, 250,000. This one surprised me. St. Louis. I mean, as you guys know, we bought a child care facility in Lake St. Louis, which is right outside of St. Louis. St. Louis is $272,000.
Doesn't Jacob have family out in St. Louis?
Yes, sir.
How much did your parents buy for?
Like $500,000.
And what do you think it's worth now?
450. All right, and then Philadelphia is 290.
All holes. Sorry. Not in a rude way.
What are you talking about?
You would want to live in any of those places?
St. Louis isn't bad.
St. Louis is nice.
St. Louis is really nice.
You just bought a child care facility.
Yeah,
out there.
exactly. I could live there and I don't know.
Play with kids.
All right, and then the last one I'll let you guys get on is this is the top cities with the highest delinquency rates. And this one's interesting. This is as of Q.
This one got typed out.
Because I ran out of room in my book. All right, so 4 out of the top 10 are in Texas with the highest default on their mortgages.
Why do you think that is? Is that because
And I'm the worst with this because you guys know that I invested in Texas, right? So
Specifically,
Austin?
Austin's not Texas, it's California in a way. However, with that being
Okay.
said, going through the ups and downs that I've always said there's 3 states that I would never invest in.
okay.
Can you guess what they are?
Texas.
It's not going to be Detroit, St. Louis, or Philadelphia. So
It's
Florida.
Nevada.
You almost invested in
I
Florida
know,
last
but
year.
I didn't. Florida, Nevada, and Texas. Those are the 3 that I learned you never do because when the market takes a crap, those are the ones, like even Florida right now that had the huge uptick on it, they're seeing a major withdrawal in the market down there, right? But Texas, because they overbuild these areas so much, and they're cheap construction and cheap housing. But Loretto, Texas, 23%, which means 1 out of every 4 person that holds a mortgage is in default.
and for our viewers here, that means what? They're just not paying it, or they don't have the money to pay.
It's 90 days behind. 90 days behind. And then you got Detroit, Michigan, 16%. It goes all the way down. Detroit, Philadelphia, New York, New Jersey, Memphis, Tennessee. I hear Memphis. I mean, that place boomed up too.
Well, Detroit lines up. So Detroit, you're saying, has the lowest medium housing price and the most delinquents.
Second, number 2 on the list.
Good to have a hand in hand.
Yeah. You got Baltimore, Maryland, El Paso, Texas, Corpus Christi, Texas. So I pointed out only because, there's definitely a shift in the marketplace going on without a doubt, right? Our area is that resilient to it, but, we've actually got a couple of properties that we've seen go into foreclosure recently.
I think you bring up a good point, and I think all of us, especially when we work with buyers, are saying the same thing, that this is one of the best times to buy if you're going to choose based on seasonality, trends, and everything. We're seeing more inventory. Home prices are dropping. I have 2 of my best friends who are looking right now, writing offers. And it's the same thing that I told him that I was buying my home. You're looking for the location that you're comfortable with
Yep.
and the monthly mortgage that you're comfortable paying.
Yeah.
You're not going to sell the home in 3 months if
Right.
the market comes down farther.
And it's going to be a great deal. It'll be a great deal 6 years from now.
And you're not going to be looking at Redfin or Zillow once you buy your home.
So let me ask you a question. How are you counseling your buyers who, they hear this podcast and they're like, wait a minute, you guys just talked about, how the median price in San Jose went down 15%. You're talking about these defaults and everything. But, Ben, we're competing on these houses. How do you get that buyer away from, wait a minute, if it's down, it's time to negotiate, right? Is it by property, by area? What do you tell a buyer that says, why are you asking me to do a full price offer or going over list price on this specific home?
Last week, I lost out on 4 offers, and all 4 were competitive, but they didn't sell for what they were selling for back in Jan and Feb. So to give you an example, there's a property in Berryessa. That property used to sell for $2 million. This was listed at $1.45 million, totally fixed up, front yard, backyard, done up, totally, right? And they got about 9 offers, and it sold for 1775. So it sold for 225,000 less than what it used to back in Jan and Feb.
But they priced it with that strategic pricing that still gave that perception of the what am I trying to say?
Yeah,
the
like
perceived value was there that the
That's
buyers are like, hey, we have to compete to this.
yeah,
with this
so
one.
even though the market has corrected, it's not corrected like $500,000
Sure.
in that pocket, right?
Right,
It's
right.
corrected maybe 150.
Well, and there's still going to be those areas and properties. It's like we were saying, if you got the wow factor, people will pay for it. If you've got a great value, people will pay for it. But if you're in the middle,
Yeah.
you're going to sit for a while, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Those are the properties seeing the most amount of pain right now.
Now, would you say, is it still just geographical location that's driving that? Or is it condos? Are all condos seeing a shift in the market, single family? Or is it always back to that location?
Yeah, I had to take off my listing in Willow Glen, which was a condo. It sat on the market for about 45 days, and then the seller decided to rent it out, and it rented out within 2 days for a really
The
good
rental
price.
market's still pretty
The rental
strong,
market
right?
is really
Well, this is
strong.
the first time in a very long time that rent actually makes more sense than owning a home, just based on interest rates and prices and everything.
Well, today, but to your point, 6 years from now, who's going to care?
Well, that's my reasoning, and especially when it comes to sellers, I feel like we have 80% of our economy who has an interest rate of 3% or less,
Right.
there is not necessarily a reason they have to sell. So we're seeing sellers in certain situations put their heels on the ground and they say, we're not dropping our price point.
And I
We're
get
gonna
that.
wait till it
But
comes
I got to
up."
tell you, I would not advise a buyer to go rent instead of buy right now because, again, it gets them into the marketplace. And they're paying less than they would have
Yeah.
6 months to a year from now.
And I'm a
So-
buyer right now. I mean,
Yeah,
I think it's a
right.
great time to buy.
Yeah, I that's where I push my buyers to is the comfortability. I'm not saying
Yeah.
just jump into anything, but
Right.
this is the opportunity where if you're looking in certain neighborhoods,
Right.
this is the time to get in. This
Yeah.
is the time to at least take the chance to get in. On the reciprocal side, when it comes to selling side, like you said, they priced it down low. It still goes up 200 grand, still lower than the average asking price over there. Aaron was saying, last week when we were talking, like if you price a property lower or more aggressively, you have to have confidence when you do it. And I feel like some agents who price low don't have that confidence,
don't
and
have the
that's where you
experience
start
to
to
deal
see
with
it,
it.
where they don't
Yeah.
have as much competition.
Yeah, and they're going to walk, and they're going to take the first offer that walks in the door, leave
Exactly.
money on the table. They don't know who you work with matters, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, again, buyers right now, great time to buy. Great opportunities out there. A lot of negotiating. The people who are putting their homes on the market in the summer, they have to sell. There's a reason they have to sell.
Right.
In real estate, we use the D's: death, downside,
Yep,
divorce,
life events.
diploma.
Yep.
If you're seeing that home go on the market now, and there's other buyers who are traveling, this is a great opportunity to get in.
Right.
And like we said, if you have job security, if the market turns and your property prices go down, you ride it out.
Yeah.
There's no issue with it going down because you're not selling, you're not losing money.
Right.
If you're comfortable with that monthly mortgage, stick with it, wait for it to come back up, and then again, history shows that we will be on that increasing pattern of appreciation.
Aaron, you're really quiet, man. You going to chime in here or
I was just waiting for you guys to.
give you the opportunity?
Yeah, I mean, I've taken advantage of a lot of agents recently that have not adapted to the shift, and it's actually really sad when I'm hosting open houses. I'm pretty good at connecting with people that are walking in, and a lot of these buyers are hiring, for lack of a better word, dumb agents.
Yeah.
They're using agents that need to get paid, that don't understand the current market, and that are still writing offers subject to what houses were selling
Well,
for
let's-
back in March.
Yeah, let's face it. I mean, there's a lot of agents out there that are desperate right now because there's not, even though our inventory levels have increased. I mean, what do we have? 2,000 units on the market right now?
Yeah, that's a little over 2,000.
2,000, and yet we have 14,000 agents.
I think what's really cool about our team is that anyone sitting in this room doesn't have to sell a house to whoever we're working with, right? To be able to tell your client, hey, this makes sense for you. I don't care whether you buy it or not.
Right.
This makes sense. This doesn't make sense. Like I walked into a house the other day with these buyers and I was like, this house is horrible. They're like, but we like it. I'm like, it's horrible. The air conditioning's on the roof. The doors aren't framed correctly. These
Right.
floors are 99
Yeah.
cents. Like, let's do it ourselves and get you into a neighborhood that's much better and not such a spotty
Nothing
area.
drives me nuts, and I think the public too, but the public has a misperception of this potentially, is the typical real estate agent who's going to walk in. I tell people the same thing. No one on our team is going to be that one who walks in the room and say, "Oh my God, look at the beautiful walk-in closet," or the beautiful, pool. We're going to point out the amenities that the house has, but you're going to be able to see those. We're going to go in there and tear that house apart to ensure that it's the right purchase for you. And again, we're only here to advise you. To your point, if you decide you want to move forward with it, or that's your decision. again, it goes back to this whole thing that we are advisors. That's all we are, right? I always tell a client, listen, my job is to educate you, take what I have in my mind, put it into yours to where you can make the best decision possible. I'm going to advise you based off of if I was in your shoes making that decision based off my experience. It's up to you if you want to listen to it or not, or act upon it. Simple as that. And I will support you either way you go.
I agree. I think one of the other things that provides a lot of value when we go to these showings is we've been to most of these houses before, right? Like we've shown a ton of properties. We've been in these houses. We've seen what they sell for. We've seen what other people have done with it. So having that vision of like what can be done, like although it may be a 7 out of 10 house right now, like if you remove this wall which is not load bearing, or you put these this closet into another room, like it can be bigger or better, like changing some things that buyers, especially first time home buyers, can't envision doing themselves, and putting giving them that confidence that hey, this is possible. I think that's a ton of value.
100%.
Dude, check this out before you go, Mark. This is that Almaden Santa Teresa tri-level house. Dude, I got a 27-foot beam and I floated the floor to be one level.
No way.
Wow.
Nice, huh?
Now, what did that cost you to do approximately?
20 grand.
And what do you think that's going to do to your value?
150.
Really? Because
Actually, I don't even know if there's a number. I think someone that wouldn't buy the house because of the floor plan now would.
Yeah. Interesting.
27 feet with engineering.
So are you saying tri-level plan? I guess I'm
saying you can make a tri-level plan into this market. You could get a fantastic deal, float the floor, and make it bad.
Okay. Because we know the more stairs you have, the least attractive it's going to be.
Yes.
Right?
So is that no longer a tri-level now?
It's still a tri-level, but it doesn't have like... My goal is to eliminate the weird step down into... Like, we should have only one step down. So you got to have a tri-level, but at least have the
But doesn't the
level.
garage come off of that bottom tri-level area?
So you still have that part, but before this... And also
but you raise the other... So now you just walk down into the garage.
Now everything, like kitchen, living area, all of that's in one.
Oh, interesting. I don't know if I would have ever done that. That's interesting. So I guess the answer is going to be is what you sell it for compared to a...
So I bought it for 185.
What do you think you're going to sell for?
2.3 to 2.4.
Really? In today's market? Okay.
Still 2,400 feet.
Anybody want to take any bets?
Which one is this? Is this Monte?
But I think if you're going to flip properties, especially if you're going to work with me, we're always focused on break even.
Yeah.
As long as we can get out of
no
the
harm,
break
no foul.
even, no harm, no foul.
Yep.
And
I agree.
Anything else is just a bonus, right? Like I'm doing all the work anyways. So as long as you get your money back, and I will die before I don't give someone their money back if I'm taking investment.
Is that a guarantee?
That's a guarantee.
He hesitated. It said a guarantee.
No, I wouldn't. Hey, if you give me 200 grand, we go flip a house and we lose money for some godforsaken reason, I'll pay you back.
Oh, that's on freaking film, man.
Yeah, that's no doubt.
All right. Cool.
I can take your friend's money and then not pay him back if your flip goes.
You only work with friends?
Kinda.
Oh, that's good.
He said kinda.
I know.
And also, if Balaji is listening to this, can you call Mark back? God.
You don't need to worry about that.
Oh, okay.
Don't need to worry about it. Just don't call me again. How about that?
Nah.
Damn, Gina.
Boom.
Drop the mic on that.
I wrote some things down.
All right, let's go.
Wait, go ahead, Ben.
I actually have something. Really
Go ahead.
Go for it.
The
Please.
salt cap is being extended by 4 times the amount.
The what?
The salt caps, state and local taxes, were capped in 2016 at $10,000, and now it's being increased to $40,000.
Well, that's on the big beautiful bill, right?
Yeah.
But has that passed?
Not yet, but once it gets into effect, like it's been passed.
But they're also doing it on like auto interest and stuff too. But again, you got to look at what the income levels are.
I think it's for people making over 400,000.
Oh, is it on the mortgage interest and
Yeah.
stuff? Okay, because on the auto interest, I thought it was like less than 120 grand or something.
Unfortunately, no one here makes over 400.
No one makes over 400? Yeah. I write your guys' checks. Caitlin makes over 400.
All right, I got a question.
Or else
here.
get the hell off our team.
Or a thought.
Well,
Let's just say,
he wasn't able to finish his thing.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I just have a few.
Go ahead, Benny.
well, going back to like first-time home buyers jumping into the market, taking advantage right now, especially of prices and leniency on how many offers come in and stuff. What do you suggest a first-time home buyer, if they're going after a fixer-upper or something turnkey? Obviously, it's going to come down to how much liquid cash they have. But what are some of the items that you would look at as a first-time home buyer and say, yes, you can take this on yourself right now? or no, this is probably going to cost you too much money. This is something that you should probably skip over until later.
Ooh. In my opinion, all the cosmetic stuff is nothing, right? And that's a great point. I think
Nothing meaning?
Not a bit. You can take it on yourself.
Yeah.
Cosmetic.
Paint.
Right? Yeah. And the problem I think what a lot of first-time home buyers do is they over-exaggerate the cost for something, right? Where we know what the cost is for that. That's why, again, who you work with matters. But when you start getting into significant foundation or drainage issues, structural issues, that's where I say, hey, hold on. Because a lot of those things, you don't know the cost until you start diving into it. And they could be very, very costly items. Remodeling a kitchen, bathroom, stuff like that is a no-brainer. Replacing a roof. I mean, those are all things that you're going to get the use and enjoyment out of, and they should be fairly reasonable to take care of. But that would be my concern. That doesn't mean that just because I have a foundation issue, I walk from it. But it's how significant that foundation is. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the unfancy stuff, right? Like the foundation, the roof, like redoing electrical, plumbing. Like as long as one of the four and not all four, I guess
good point.
it's still doable. Like on top of your cosmetic, because while you're out there, redoing floors, might as well do some of the things from the crawl space.
But that's the thing too. A lot of buyers don't understand what are key components, right? Like for instance, if you're in Santa Clara and you got a house that only has 100 amp service, you better plan on going to 200 amp service on it, right? If you got galvanized plumbing that's been sitting there for 40, 50 years, you better plan on having to replace that plumbing.
Well, especially right now, you make a good point on the plumbing, and then we talked about this last week with the roof. A lot of insurance agents are now looking at this stuff before you even get into the property.
Yep.
So again, as a buyer, you got to take most of this stuff into consideration. And pipes is the one thing that I've been saying right now, and roofs especially, to kind of be wary on. Especially in the summer. And this, I have an example from last year, but when you go and get a property inspection in the summer, there's no way for them to test the roof other than spraying a hose on your roof. They're not going to know if the roof is leaking in the summer. There's only a certain amount of water that they're going to be able to spray to notice.
Yeah, they'll be able to see a dried spot or something, but right.
So age of the roof, I think, is a big thing to understand how old the roof is, especially when it comes to insurance and stuff, but also a timeline on when you might have to pull that cash out to fix it later in the future. If it comes 4 months from now and it starts raining in the winter and then you have to come out of pocket with cash, you just have to have that expectation.
You bring up a great point. Something I used to do when I represented a lot of buyers was to look at the effective age of all the components, right? So they can build a budget in place and create a reserve for like an AC unit that might be 20 years old. Hey, it's working now, but you better be prepared for that, right? Same thing on a roof. You might have a roof that's 25 years old, kind of at the end of its life, but you might be able to nurse it along, Band-Aid along for another 3 to 5 years. But plan on that expense.
And I think what you're saying, being prepared, is the key word.
Yep.
I have buyers who will look at inspections, go and get the house, and then say, oh, we're going to have to change all this immediately.
Yeah, slow it down.
Slow down.
Phase it in. Yeah.
People have been living in here for many years.
Yeah.
They're living just fine.
Yeah. Right.
I'm proponent on if it's working, keep it until it
100%.
breaks on you, and then you go and
Right.
fix it. But if you can save money from just pulling out liquid cash immediately and have it put down, and you can prepare for it in the future by either saving or setting monthly accounts up, I think that's more beneficial. Yeah. So let's ask Jeet this question. As a first-time home buyer going into this market right now, a changing market, what stands out about a townhome with an HOA? And again, I'm going to make it very clear to the public listening, this isn't a condo. So we're not talking about SB 36 issues. We're not talking about balconies and all that. This is a townhome. What is in the townhome that you're thinking about now and in the future of why that works for you?
So it gets me closer to work, first of all, right? Like it gets me closer to everything that I usually am.
What street is it on?
I'm
just curious.
Jeet currently lives in Livermore.
It's Main Street. It's in Main Street.
It's on Elmwood.
I just want to look at it.
209.
So you already
Elmwood.
look at that. Let him finish the story.
But yeah, it gets me closer to work, right? It cuts my commute significantly, right? If someone wants to see a house, I can be there in 5-7 minutes, because it's very centrally located. It's about 10 minutes to the office, 10 minutes to the gym, 10 minutes to pretty much anywhere I need to show houses in.
So location, check.
Okay. I think space-wise, it's got 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, and then it also has an extra office room, so it's kind of like a 4-bed. And getting 2.5 bath is pretty rare. Usually most of the homes you get are like 3-2s or 4-2s, so I like that aspect of it. It's also got a small backyard. It does back a busy road, but the price that I'm getting it for, like if I need to get out of it, I think I can get in and out pretty easily. Things are selling for between 7 to 14 days in the community, and I think schools are great. They're all 7s and 8s, so in the future if I need to rent it out, like I think I can get at least $5,000 to $6,000 a month in rent in that community. And it's got a pool and it's got a really nice curb appeal to it. So all the owners there are fairly longer term, like they live there at least 7+ years, and it's another area I can farm. So something closer to work that I can establish a name in and hopefully get some more listings going in there. So
Good job.
yeah, it's business, personal, and convenience.
Summer of Fun is here. We've got our movie night coming up here.
Superman.
July 10th, we're going to run
July
into our
10th,
third movie night of the year.
Beautiful.
Which is going to be Superman. We're
How
gonna
are they bringing him back to life, dude? Didn't he die?
He is.
All right, whatever. They're bringing him back to life. So come see Superman. We have Music in the Park.
So we have Superman, 2 theaters. So make sure you guys RSVP for that. July 10th, we have Music in the Park. That's starting July 24th. Which is going to be 6 weeks of pure fun in Los Gatos.
Absolutely.
And
every Sunday moving forward till the end of summer.
Every Sunday moving forward to the end of summer.
So with that, just stay tuned for more great real estate advice and information and events. Right?
And we'll always remember, who you work with matters.
That's right. All right. Great to be back. See you guys later. Bye.